We as teachers tell our students all the time to get feedback on all of their work. But ask yourself this question: when's the last time you got feedback on an exam you wrote for your students? Well, today I'm going to show you how to get that feedback using AI. Let's get started. Let's jump straight into it. There are two places you can find the prompt for today. The first one is in the description below. The second one is in our school community under the classroom tab, the assessment builder. We're going to be working with improve a multiple choice exam. All you have to do if you want to run this prompt is copy the entire prompt, navigate over to ChatGPT to paste it on in, and then you just have a few bracketed sections at the top to fill in. So this is a pretty old test of mine. I'm actually really worried what it's going to say because it's such an old test, but it is for my debate class for grades 9 through 12, and then it is covering the entire semester. Now, that puts the prompt into ChatGPT, but it still doesn't have the test. For that, you can either copy and paste the test straight into ChatGPT, or you can hit this plus button, add photos or files, and attach the test directly. Now that it has the test and the prompt, we're going to go ahead and send it through. Starting with the number one area of concern is an overrepresentation of recall questions. And I can tell you that I've been doing a lot of AI reviews of my test, and it has clearly identified a bias that I over-rely on recall questions. So moving forward, I now know that I need to watch that when creating tests from here on out. But this test is old, so no doubt I was still in my recall bias days. Up next is test wiseness and non-serious answer options. I threw in a couple of jokes along the way, some inside jokes that we did in class. Probably not optimal, especially for a major exam like this. And then class-specific knowledge, etc. Logical fallacy section includes redundancy and ambiguity, something to look in there as well. But as we scroll down, it's going to continue listing different issues. This is not to say that every single issue it lists is going to be something you need to improve or fix, but it does make you aware that it could be a potential issue before you hand this test to your students. There are a few reasons why this works. Number one, prompt design. You'll notice at the top it gives a very clear role to the AI to act as an assessment expert. It even lists particular experts to base their research and apply it to your test to ensure that it's meeting the highest standards. Second, it differentiates between biggest areas of concerns all the way down to minor areas of concerns, so you as a teacher can focus in on what needs to be fixed the most first. I don't know, I think that reason might be good enough for a like for this video. Third, since you wrote the test, you already know that it should be factually accurate, but this is just providing you some ideas and some considerations moving forward. And while you do need to fact check whenever AI gives you facts, you do not need to fact check good ideas. If it gives you a good idea, take it. Fourth, in order to have a valid test, you need to ensure that there are some challenging questions, moderately difficult questions, and then some easier questions. In education, we call this depths of knowledge, and it's really time-consuming to be able to go through your entire test and to ensure that it's well balanced. But AI is extremely good at doing this extremely quickly. And finally, number 5, it keeps you in control. AI is not deciding what to ask your students and what not to ask them. Instead, this prompt requires them to respond to your thinking because, after all, you're the teacher in the classroom. I'm Luke with Groovy Education, where we've trained over 250 schools on responsible AI integration into their classroom. Links below if you want to hire us, as is links to our school community. But I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to this channel so that you can be aware of future videos. But also be sure to send this to a teacher you know so that they can have awesome tests for their students. But until next time, see ya.